Oh, yes. Nice frames, boo-boo. I
You
love
think?
it.
Thank you so much. I got them
love
at
them.
TJ Maxx. Thank you. Thank you.
Max for the minimum. I absolutely love it. What's up, coworkers? What's up, colleagues? Welcome to Friends from Work. My name is Al Jackson. I'm joined by my co-host, Tori Shulman. We are sans Michael Dean today, who is going through some craziness, which I feel like we need to let him divulge if it is wild. I will say this, Tori, and I want to say this before I forget, and thank the Lord for the reminder on my computer. Tomorrow, we have a special Friends from Work. It's going to be live from where? A very special studio that I'm sitting in right now, my casa. We have a special guest on who we cannot say who it is. It'll make sense when we do the show, and it will be live at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. So we'll put a YouTube post out. Colleagues, please tell everybody, especially people that aren't on yet. And Tori, remind me to say this before the show ends, that we are having a special show tomorrow, live at 5 p.m. with a very special guest who I saw on television, and what her story rocked my world. I DM'd her and she wrote back after looking at one of our clips where we talked about her story, and she will be here live talking to Tori and I. Tori, who is in a what's up, Sea Dog? Tori, who's in a fantastic dress today. I love your fits. I love the frames. Don't love the arching of the back. Don't love that. But there are still more things that I love than not. That would be the worst if I was like, we were like trying to see if we're going to hook up, and it's funny because there's a story we're going to talk about, and I was like, yeah, baby, and like you just totally like, and my friends are like, what's up with that girl? And I'm showing them still photos, and they're like, yeah, and I'm like, you don't get it, bro. She was doing weird stuff on Snapchat. You know what's weird is Snapchat is one of those apps that we officially have aged out of.
Oh, 100%.
If you have a Snapchat, like you're doing there's no reason, especially for a man, to have a Snapchat. You're looking
it's for
at
the young people.
Yes.
It's for the young people.
Tori, I told you we were going to do something different. Before we get the show started, Tori is going to take over because I am going to go upload a few videos that we need for the show today. Because, and colleagues, you guys don't run a show, so you might not know. The best thing to do is wait till your show is live. And then
I was gonna say, let's wait till everyone's here to then do it. That's right.
Yes, and to my credit, Michael Dean, we thought he was going to be on the show today, but we forced him to take the day off because Michael Dean is like one of those people where, Tori, tell me if I'm lying, it could be a situation where you know how like sometimes there'll be one of those holes that just open up in the earth. What do they call those? Not pitfalls.
An abyss. We had this conversation on DVL.
Yeah, and like if his house fell into it, Michael Dean would be like, I might be late because I'm the Red Cross, the Wi-Fi isn't good. And you're like, Michael Dean, take the day. Are you out of your mind? So like I had to yell at him to take the day. Totally. So Michael Dean is not here. So let me upload because it'll be worth it. So Tori, you said you had a question for the colleagues. I'm going to turn the show over to you. I expect us to have a fraction of the viewers when I return.
So mean. Oh my God. Okay. So you guys, let's all make a prank on Al. No, I'm just kidding. I have a better question. Okay, so I did an Ask Me Anything on my Instagram. By the way, my Instagram is at I am Tori Shulman. Love it if you followed me. Need more followers. And one of the first questions was, what would you tell your high school self now that your age? And it really struck me as to, should I do something funny like learn how to roast a chicken, like that's something, or do I say like something more like mental health wise? So I would like to ask you, the colleagues, and if you're new or haven't written, be brave and write in today because I'm going to read a lot. Oh, Black Asian, I freaking love you. She already follows. Julia follows. Hell yes. Okay. What would you tell your high school self from your age now? Let me know. So I almost did roast a chicken. Then I almost did don't do too much with your hair. I feel like I did too much. Marcy. Okay. So Renee Brown says, learn how to swim. That's such a good answer. That is such a good answer. that's the kind of thing I was trying to go for. One of mine was, I don't know if this is too like woo-woo, but it was find more or learn to find more self-love and self-trust. Because I really think I'm developing that like right now. Marcy Kuhn says, don't do any sports. That's great. Sea Dog says, learn Spanish. That is so smart. I learned French and Italian. It's not helpful in any way. It's not helpful. Black Asian says, do not put all of your thoughts, feelings into boys. I was going to write the same thing. I was going to write the same freaking thing, Black Asian. I was going to write the same thing. Catherine Varney says, you will think you were attractive one day. Oh, that hurts my heart. I'm so glad you feel that way, but I bet you were gorgeous growing up, but beautiful to say that. Indy ELC says, learn how to type. I quit the class after 2 days. Indy. I can type like 110 words per minute. Is that a lot? I don't even know. But I did QWERTY with the box over your hand when you had to follow the turtle. Do you guys remember that with the Oregon Trail? And then I did want to say one of these, buy Bitcoin, Brandon says. I could get like 1,000 for a nickel back then. That's amazing. Julia says, I would say, don't be stupid. That's okay. That's just a general broad one, Julia. And I don't think you're stupid at all. W says, don't marry that girl. That sounds like a country western song. Don't marry that girl. You will unfurl. And you'll meet a girl named Merle. We could work on that. I'm glad. Ow. I didn't know he was still here. Renee says, yes, Black Asian. I was boy crazy as well. I was like, since I was like 10, it was like about the boys. And I never learned like how to trust myself, soothe myself. Does that make sense? Like self-regulate. It was always find Jack, Jeb, Jordan, a lot of J's. Jags in Arizona says, I would tell me you haven't peaked yet. Right on, Jag. I think that's fair because you think like I'm on the football team or I'm doing this. And it's like, no, you will peak later when you find comfort in yourself, self-esteem, maybe a partner, maybe a great job. I think that's really good. Christina S says she would go to Paris. I had the chance and I stayed for a boy. C'est vrai? Non, non, non. Tu n'appelles le garçon. Non. Je restais par vous. Tu devrais aller à Paris. You should go to Paris now. Jag says he was on the football team. That's so funny. You think like I can throw this football right over those mountains. You guys ever seen Napoleon Dynamite where you're like that guy is stuck at like state, what do you call it? Competition in high school for sure. How will the decision you make affect everyone else? That's good. Michael Anderson says be a gym rat. Man, I could have used like I'm doing hot yoga once a week, y'all. I got to do some I should have learned weightlifting, especially like when you're older as a woman, you really need to keep that muscle up. I sound like I'm in a diaper commercial. I'm not that old, but weightlifting is a great idea. Sea Dog says, be a leader, not a follower. What great advice is that? Uncle Rico, man, eat your food, Tina. Oh, that wasn't Uncle Rena.
That was a great impression. Hold on, I'm hearing myself echo, but I'm scared to leave the stream because I don't want to end the stream.
Eat your food, Tina. Anyone else want to get this out? Because it's good to just like get this out because you can start thinking about it. I also have a cool story. Oregon Trail. She says I have an Oregon Trail on floppy disk. Do you remember the floppy disk? It was floppy. No one needs that. No one needs that. Okay. Football, basketball, baseball, and track. Whoa. Someone was what do you call it? A 4-sport athlete? You can tell I did theater. I was a jazz hand kind of girl. Let's do this. Maybe you should say get rid of your floppy disks. That would have been good. So I also want to tell you a story very quickly that I think could help, but keep writing in, you guys, because I think this is a really interesting topic. So here's my parable. I listed it on Instagram. So if you don't follow me, this will be new. If you do, I apologize for re-saying it. Okay. 2 fish were swimming in the ocean. This comes from the book, The Power of Habit. I'm reading it now to break some bad habits. It's excellent. Oh, Marcy did field hockey, basketball, and softball. What position, Marcy? Julia says, I'm so old. When I was younger, I could have bought Apple stock and been part of the 1%. Wouldn't that
Lot
have
of
been
people,
great?
lot of
That,
people with
or like
the
Xerox. That's such a
I
good call.
Tori, I think it was Brandon that mentioned the Bitcoin
Yes, he
when
did.
I was on tour with Hannibal. We've joked about this recently because he talks about it as like money he shouldn't have spent, but he was getting like those private jets that you can kind of rent, go places.
Whoa.
So
Yeah.
we took a couple private jets, a couple places,
Okay. Weird
and
flex.
no, it's going to be the reverse flex where your arm is broken because me, I'm from Cleveland. I ain't never been on a private jet. So we're on one. We were going to Nebraska. I'll never forget. And he was talking to me about Bitcoin and Ethereum before like people knew what that was. Cause he's like he just is a curious guy. So he looks into that kind of stuff. And he was like, you should just buy like $10. And I didn't know what those words were. And I was like, we're on a private jet. My friend is talking about some nonsense right now. Let's look out the window and take some pictures of ourselves on this. If I had spent
what did he say to
$10,
spend it on? What did he say?
he was like, we should probably get some Bitcoin. I think he did. This is probably 8 years ago, 9 years ago. And it was just like, I think about that all the time. But he was just saying, he might as well have been saying God. I didn't know those. I didn't know what Ethereum was. I was like, what is he talking about?
Oh my
God. And
yeah,
lots of regrets. All right, Tori.
Wait, really quick. I want to tell
yes.
very quickly. The guy who did murals on the original Facebook headquarters, they were like, do you want like $20,000 for it? Or do you want some Facebook stock? He chose the Facebook stock and he's a gazillionaire. Okay, that was my story.
I mean, that's smart. Tori, let's start off kind of light before we go into anything. I wanted to ask you, have you seen this story? Let's move it on to the side here. Tori, do you know who that is?
Someone with intensity. Was he a football player commentator?
He was, and he weirdly was a commentator. Tori, you nailed it. Ryan Clark, former Pittsburgh Steeler. I'm a Browns fan. I should dislike Ryan Clark, but he was a dog on the field. Great free safety, one of the hardest hitting free safeties of all time. Do you know why we're talking about him today, Tori? We're not talking about safeties.
I think something unsafe happened. What happened?
Well, he was fired from ESPN on the air. Yes, by his executives. I'll read this. Ryan Clark is no longer an NFL analyst at ESPN. He learned the news midway through his appearance on NFL Live on Monday during a commercial break. He did not come back after the announcement. No shit. The former safety did not finish the program, according to The Athletic. Clark, 46, was informed during the show, and the network said they didn't want him to learn about it through social media. And basically, I saw the clip that kind of led to it. He was going back and forth with another NFL commentator that I knew that did not play football. And he was basically saying, like, from a player's point of view, somebody that played the game, here's how I feel. And the other guy was like, don't hit me with the I didn't play the game. And they kind of went back and forth. I didn't know the entire context, but I doubt that was the one reason, but that seems like it was the reason. So Tori,
that he argued back?
That he argued, and basically I'm assuming the network's position was you're weakening our show by like taking the legs out from underneath one of our analysts by saying that he didn't play. But everybody know you have players on there, so you can talk to people that played, right?
Okay, Black Asian is also saying ESPN is dead to me. They did him dirty. That is horrific to do to someone. That's like us on DBL in a commercial break being like, you're gone. All of you, show's canceled.
Well, that was going to be my next question for you. How did you find out DBL was ending? Because I don't think we've ever talked about this.
I was in my kitchen.
Really?
Yeah. And then I went to work, and I just remember being in like a fog because we had a certain amount of time still to go.
Wait, how did somebody call you, or you got an email or something?
I think Bert and Sam was like, we have news and it's not good. because they
Oh
had just met
God.
with the head people, and I knew, and I was like, and I had to come into work and be like, coming up on DBL. It was hard, dude. It was a hard thing to do. Yeah, that was, and then we had like 3 months, didn't we? We had a long time.
Right, we sunsetted.
Yeah.
For me, it was so different because Tori, unlike you that had the chance to at least process it in your kitchen and like talk to Bert and Sam, I was an independent contractor, so I didn't get the emails. So I lived up the street. So, colleagues, I am bopping into work like Johnny Be Good. I'm like, hey, what's up, kid? Keep your nose clean. Hey, looking good in that dress, girl. Okay, tell your dad to call me. Like, just I should have stopped and gotten an apple from an Italian grocer and taken a bite out of it and doffed my hat.
Buongiorno, signore.
So I walk in the back of the studio and I walk in and I forget who it was, but it looked like where your changing area was. There was 2 producers crying, but I was like, I must be like looking at that wrong, or maybe, sometimes there's an emotional interview that you weren't there for. And so I never sat at my desk. So I just basically walked on set and I'm sitting where I normally sit, and like all y'all were sitting just staring straight ahead. And I'm like, and then I look over at Sammy, and Sammy is just like, I'm like cracking jokes. I'm like, oh, nice jacket, just like
Roasting us.
Yeah, and just like nothing. And then she wrote on my card for the upcoming stuff. She was like, have you heard the news? And I was like, I still really wasn't putting it together. And she goes, we went to our first commercial, and she's like, the big bosses are here and they want to meet at 3:00. And I was like, we've met with them before. And she goes, Al, has it ever been good when your big bosses show up unannounced? And I was like, and the rest of the show, Tori, I was in beyond autopilot. It was just like, people talk about being in shock, and I know that's usually reserved for like a traumatic car accident or something, but
No, it's
this was
shocking.
like 7 years of my life. And I'm like looking around and I'm like looking for something to prove Sam wrong. Like, wait,
Yeah.
but like Bert's face, everybody,
We were like this.
it was, everybody was like, we're going to be professional. And there is something in nature called fight or flight, Tori.
Yeah. And freeze and fawn. Did you freeze?
I flighted at 3:00. I went home. I just left. And so I just tried to, just like in denial. Like if you robbed a bank and then just went home and started watching cartoons. I just was like at home, like going through my refrigerator, and Bert called me and I was like, sup? And he was like, where are you? I was like, I came home to, he's like,
oh yeah,
you didn't,
you weren't at the meeting. That's right.
I just ran. I just ran. And so I went back, and it was like something out of a nightmare. Like in your nightmare, you walk into a meeting and you're naked or something.
Yeah, they're all Raisinets or something.
Yeah, I walked into that huge conference room, colleagues. It was like a conference. It was cartoonish. It could have held like maybe 30 people. This conference.
It was like Zeus and his 12 gods could have been there. It was huge.
Yes, it was a huge, and just I walked in that door and everybody was seated and they just turned to me, and it was like a nightmare. And as soon as I sat down, they were like, you guys, and so that's how I found out. Wow. So like, I don't know what happened to Ryan Clark. Sucks, but it's just like, I don't know. What would you have preferred? Would you have preferred like that we sunsetted, we had those 3 months, or like just cut it off, or like how do you want to know?
I liked the 3 months. I got to be honest. Black Asian is saying is this true? The only black commentator on that show?
It may be. I don't watch NFL Live. I know who's the big, because they also have the they call him like the big kahuna or something. He was the defensive tackle for the Cowboys. I don't know if he's on the NFL Live all the time, but yes, he's one of the few. And it's like, unless there was some stuff behind the scenes, which there obviously is with everything that you can never know, I don't think that was a fireable offense. He didn't say he was a piece of S or anything. He just said, as a player, and he goes, this is coming from a player's point of view. And the guy was like, don't big time me like that. But it's like, yeah, there are people that are statistics analysts that didn't play, and there are people that played and they have another analysis. So I don't know if that was that, but it was just a weird weird way to go out, especially for one of your most highly valued analysts. It just seemed bizarre.
Okay, it also reminds me, okay, that first of all seems insane. I feel like that's when baseball players get traded in the middle of a game, and they have to like
Yes.
go out and like change uniforms. But
Yeah.
there has to be something behind the scenes, because if I were Mr. Clark, I would be suing the pants off these people for wrongful termination. If it was just that, oh boy, you have a lawsuit coming. I can't imagine being told in the commercial break you're done for that minor of like, and it wasn't even an infraction. It was just like a conversation. That is horrific.
It was
Marcus
just
Spears.
weird.
Is that the guy? Marcus Spears.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, I don't know if Marcus Spears is on there, but he's one of their.
He's on NFL Live, they said.
Yeah. So I think Marcus Spears, the other
show he was
black
hired
dude.
on was another show entirely. Okay. Thanks.
Oh, he was. It was. Yeah. Was that it? Okay. Let me see if it says exactly which show, because we do want to get the facts right.
Yeah. Good call. We should. C-Dog says Clark should not have discounted an unplayer. All kinds of old football people say you could never have played in my day. Yeah, but I wouldn't be.
It says
fired.
NFL Live.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, trust me, I get that. It's and this is. Go ahead, Tori.
It says that's the non-player in you. To which Schrager responded, "Don't belittle me like that." And then the disagreement continued off camera. So maybe it got really bad off camera. Ryan Clark also just won an Emmy. Wow. This is, I mean, you don't just fire someone like that, because people have, there's litigation to be at. You have to be certain that remember we had people that were fired on DBL, and it took months and months and months to be able to make sure that termination was all okay.
Tori, I don't know what you could do in the corporate world where you would be fired like immediately.
Unless you were doing something like horrific.
If you physically struck someone,
right? Like Will Smith them, you know what I mean?
Yes, but I mean, opposite of that, even if you were visibly intoxicated.
Yeah.
I wish I had some sunglasses here, Tori.
Inside joke. Inside joke. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But
yes.
Man.
So, but I'm saying even in that situation where in real time it appeared, and we're not talking about DBL, we're just talking about any imaginary show. If it appeared that a coworker on air was intoxicated, you still can't fire them. No. Because like of all the acts, like you can't fire somebody that goes to rehab.
There's termination policies.
You're almost more protected.
Absolutely.
If you go to rehab.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah. I just smell a settlement. Do you smell that settlement for wrongful termination?
A non-disclosed. Yeah, I'd just be like, hey, ESPN, you did me wrong. Go ahead and make it right. Yeah. Keep writing zeros on that check till your wrist gets tired.
Unless he said something horrific in that off air. But anyway, we all think that's a bad mistake, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Bad
mistake. And even if he said something, that's something that would be in his file. But if they didn't fire him right then for that, you can't, you just can't, do it. All right, Tori, we're going to transition to our next story. And again, I'm reminding everybody, make sure to tune in tomorrow at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. We have a special live Friends from Work with a very special guest. We cannot say who it is, and it'll make sense why, but make sure to tune in tomorrow. Or Tori, I want to get to this person as well. Not quite the same person as Ryan Clark, but I guess maybe similar.
Okay.
You can't read it. I have Who Is You?
Tori,
do you know who that woman is?
Like the CEO of or head of something.
Well, she is kind of the head of something.
Is she the head of a team?
No.
Is she the head of something bad?
Well, she took over for somebody that was doing bad. That's Darlene Nordone. Maybe let me clarify her last name. Darlene Graham Nardone. That is Lindsey Graham's sister. Yes, who has taken over, which again, another thing I had to make a video when I was on the cruise ship about, because I was like, this isn't something you bequeath to somebody. You just give it to your little sister. What is this, fucking bonanza? You can't just give that to your sister. But you think it's a deed to an old bank?
It's like a lot in Arizona.
Yeah, it's insane. So Tori, let me read this, and then I want to get your thoughts. All right. It says here. Okay. Darlene Graham. I guess she's going by Graham now to reinforce to the public. I'm a real person. Says that she will run for a full Senate term. Senator Darlene Graham, which blows my mind. The sister of the late Republican Lindsey Graham confirmed in an interview with Fox News that aired Monday that she will run for the seat for a full term. I've been praying a lot. Good. Talking to my family. All right. And with the love of my family and the support of his staff, I know I'm a hard worker. I learned that from Lindsey. He cared about people during his state, and I've worked for almost 30 years for the people of the state. How?
What?
Darlene,
How?
What have you done? So Hannity goes, "You're in," and she goes, "I'm in." Only a week into her time on Capitol Hill, Darlene distanced herself from her brother's political legacy, explaining that she will be less focused on foreign affairs and national security. Who is this?
Okay.
Who is you?
Who is he? That's what you wrote that?
Who is you?
I have two things to say. When I researched her, she has absolutely zero political experience whatsoever.
She was working as a vocal rehabilitation coach. Oh, I did a deep dive. I was on that cruise for days, bro. I know about some Darlene Graham.
Oh my God. And then secondly, the reason they so quickly ushered her in is because they want to fill that seat as quick as possible. I know Nancy Mace left, but they want that seat as a Republican and they want it now and they want it to move on so that nobody questions it. And that I don't even think she has to be advised and confirmed by the Senate at this point. I think she's just let in. Is that true?
I think so. She just gets to ride it out for these last 3 months. I mean, that is
insanity.
There are only 100 of these jobs, Tori, in a country of 340 million people. There's only 100 of these jobs. There is no other job. Tom Brady's son just can't quarterback the Patriots.
A-Rod Jr. stepping up to the plate.
It's like, it doesn't work. How did Michael Jordan's son do in the league? Now it's such a, it really questions the credibility of the job because there is no other job that works like this. And then, so if anybody can do it, then who cares?
It's literally with no credentials she can do it. I know Trump backed this. I also heard that Trump is introducing a $3 bill with Lindsey Graham's face on it.
No, he's not.
A strange thing. So this was appointed by the governor of South Carolina. Thank you for saying that, Michael Anderson. So I don't think you have to be confirmed by the Senate if you're appointed for the fill-in time. She will have to get votes, though, when she's running. I don't know how you vote. You know what?
How do you think she'll do it? Because I think in South Carolina, she could be real folksy, like, I love my brother, y'all. And she's going to tell the story about how they, like, I guess their dad died and like Lindsey wrapped his arms around her and said, I'll protect you. So she's going to focus in on the Hallmark Channel version of this because she has no resume. Zero.
None. And let me say something else. You know how Murdoch's got away with a lot because in that town, the last name Murdoch was everything. In South Carolina, the last name Graham, tons of power. I mean, it is a legacy. And so I hope people just don't vote because of the name recognition, which, by the way, is like one of the majority of ways that people actually vote is because they recognize the name. So
is that why we're dealing with RFK Jr.?
That's a good point. So I also want to say that people are writing in. So first of all, this is absurd. Absurd. I mean, I think it's absurd when someone has been in the Senate or the House of Representatives and doesn't have foreign policy and makes it into a cabinet. Like, even that to me is strange. But what's also strange is we also have Mitch McConnell, who they tried to do a proof of life. The newspaper he was like pointing on was AI'd because it was an Adidas logo instead of a Nike, who represents all of the teams. But if he's rested, if he's gone.
Mitch McConnell is dead, Tori.
He's gone.
He is a dead person.
So they have 2 seats now that they have to keep red, or else they can start to lose control of the Senate. So now they're just, as I said before, weekend at Bernieing Mitch McConnell and then sticking in this Graham woman who has no, they're just like, fill it, fill it, fill it, fill it. It could be a bag of sand. It could be a bag of sand.
I mean, right now, no joke. What is the difference between between Mitch McConnell and a bag of sand? They both have not showed up for at least a month for votes.
We have
They
AI.
both are not responding.
No.
Yeah. But lots of Republican constituents have apparently had 20-minute conversations. That's all. It's weird how they all just pick this one weird number, and they're like, is there no punishment for lying, Tori?
So Scott Jennings he's a pundit on the Abby Phillips show, and he was like, I just had a 20-minute conversation about the war and this. And then Tom Macy, the Republican, was like, I just talked to Mitch McConnell for 20 minutes, and he said, let's end it and bring world peace. And then I posted, I just talked to Mitch McConnell for 20 minutes about the ending of the Sixth Sense. Like, people are just writing like random shit. Because I don't want to say this, because I don't want to say this about someone who might, I think he's dead. The ambulance took a stretcher out. And they did it real slow, Al. They did it. There was no urgency to remove him.
Yeah.
From the home.
It's not where there was no one like working on him, because when somebody is touch and go, they're doing chest compressions while the gurney is moving.
Oh, they have a machine doing it.
Yeah. It was a Sunday afternoon stroll to that ambulance. I think they stopped and got some froyo. They were like, "We'll have 2 things cold in this truck." So those 2 seats they're trying to fill with like anything, which is so embarrassing. I mean, imagine if the Democrats tried to do that. The amount of hate that we would get from like Trump and all that. Absolute. Yeah. And just the lies. I just wonder if you're going to have a serious body, whether it's the committee that's going to elect the next homecoming king and queen, there has to be some punishment for lying. And when you go on national television, which goes to millions of homes, and tells them that you just had a 20-minute conversation with a dead man, first of all, some people are going to believe you. And also that there needs to be a punishment for knowingly lying, not me saying NFL Live, even though it was NFL Game Day. That's a misspeak. When you are lying on purpose and there is no punishment, even just public humiliation, even a suspension by CNN, saying we can't have people, we refuse to disrespect our viewers by having somebody on. Tori, between you and I, we can talk candidly. We wanted to get a conservative on DBL forever.
That's true.
But they were just saying random shit that could not be fact checked on television. Republicans will just we would want to have like, you guys don't have conservatives. Do you think we don't want that audience?
I know. We absolutely welcome. We want that, because it was like 77% of the population at the time. I do want to say this, that there's something in the law that if you're going to sue for defamation, it's called actual malice, and there's reckless disregard for the truth. So if you're slamming someone, and as Al said, you knowingly are lying, you can be sued properly for defamation. And if you also are just reckless with the truth and you defame someone, you also have a case. But in this case, I can't explain if he wasn't defaming Mitch McConnell. So I don't know if there's a court case, but I highly believe in CNN suspending someone that said he had a fake 20-minute conversation with a dead man. Oh my God.
Right. I mean, what you could make the argument for, and maybe it's a roundabout argument, is that he was contributing to the silencing of the voices of how many Kentuckians by saying that their representative was alive and he is not. I mean, there's got to be something. There's got to be something involved with that. So I think
it's a CNN situation in my mind. I mean, I don't think there's like a legal case here, except for you just lied on air. It's also hard to prove defamation of a public figure. They have a much higher scrutiny level because they put themselves. But very strange here. I do want to say, someone wrote in, they tried to get Dianne Feinstein, and she was showing up for votes. Let's be real. She was a Democrat. She was falling asleep and thought the meetings were over. She wasn't. She should have been time was up for, and she's a Democrat, and I loved what she did in the beginning of her career, but at that point she had overstayed her welcome, much like I think Joe Biden, who didn't tell us that he was that bad off. But at this point, no one is worse than like if a dead person is trying to say they're alive.
I mean,
Why can't
it
we
is.
see a video? How hard is it to just see a video, not like a photo? Just like, hey, it's me. Like, how hard is that?
Because
how hard is that?
He's dead. It's hard when he's dead, Tori. That's what they want to be like. Our AI is not that good yet. Give us a couple years. The edges aren't crisp. Yeah, he is. And Tori, since we were talking about Lindsey Graham, can I upload one quick thing? You'll love it. Did you see the TikTok from his lover?
Is it a man?
It's a trans woman.
Okay, this is what the DC secret is, that just, he was, which is fine, but he would use, Grindr, the gay Tinder. They lowered their flag at their headquarters when Lindsey Graham died. I mean, when he died. It was just a well-known secret that he could have been either bisexual or there was, I don't want to out anybody, but that was just the rumor.
Well, no, I mean, you're not even outing, but let me, I do want to read this really quickly because I did a whole thing on Lindsey Graham, and just like, because it was apparently like the NDAs go away once you pass away. So that's why all these people are now like, yeah, what's up, bro? So hold on. Just take 1 second.
Okay. I'm going to read a lot of you guys saying, this is funny. Julia says, you can't have a video of Mitch McConnell because you might be able to see the hand in the back of his neck making the mouth move. Again, I feel bad for like trashing Mitch McConnell, but he also trashed the American people with so many things, including completely stopping anything that Obama wanted to get passed and putting down our healthcare completely, which was awful, and just being kind of, in my opinion, a terrible person. What do you think of, okay, Michael says, what do you think of Hunter Biden? We're just taking a quick sidestep here. I'm freaking loving Hunter Biden. And many people are like, is it really going to be Hunter Biden that brings back the Democratic Party? If you don't know, he's on Twitter and he responds to people in such a smart, digestible, fierce, unapologetic way, which is what a lot of us are being said to Democrats. Stop fighting with like a word, a letter. Start actually fighting with like your power and your anger and your ferocity. You know what I mean? Like use that, because the Republicans are doing that. So if you haven't started to follow the Hunter Biden situation, even yesterday, JD Vance made a comment that they showed Biden licking ice cream all the time. You know how he loved ice cream, in a very suggestive sexual way. And it's like, why was JD Vance thinking about sex while looking at ice cream? And Hunter posted a picture of him and his dad eating ice cream at that moment, being like, happy National Ice Cream Day. Like, what a strange, weird insult. So yeah, fight with your thought. And I think he's doing a really good job. There's certain other people, like Newsom was doing this for a while on Twitter. Mamdani does this a lot. John Ossoff, Tallarico. But yeah, I do want to say, Christina says Hunter is everything we need, and they can't get him on everything. As he said, they've shown naked pictures of him in Congress. What else are you going to do? Great point. It's like when Obama was like, did you smoke pot? And he goes, did you inhale? Remember Bill Clinton said, I didn't inhale. He was like, yeah, I inhaled. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Like, if you say it, they don't have you. So at one point, someone's like, I heard he left that bag of cocaine. And Hunter goes, first of all, I smoked crack and I would never leave my drugs anywhere without me getting them. I mean, that's the kind of brutal honesty that not only we need in the Democratic Party, but a lot of people can relate to having children, grandkids, or themselves dealing with a drug addiction. And he calls it right out and says, Republican, Democrat, I'm with you as a former drug addict, as a current addict. You're always an addict when you're an addict. So I just think that he's on the path. Now, do I think he will run? Let me ask you guys. Do you think Hunter Biden, I mean, I would never thought I would ask you guys this. Do you think Hunter Biden will run? Now, I'm not saying run for, a cabinet or vice presidency, but would he run for, let's say, the House, which is a mayor, a governor position? Do you guys think that he will run? Julie says, I do not think he will run. there's a reason he's making these comments so public and so often. I don't know. Does it matter if he runs? I think it does. I think it does. I think it turns the Democratic Party into a new, let's fight with swords and not with a, papyrus scroll.
Okay, now Tori, this
Okay, back to Lindsay.
This is Lindsay's accuser. And I'm just going to, I couldn't get the damn video to upload. I sound like somebody's grandfather. Let me just show you her name is Taylor Snyder. And I luckily
beautiful.
so I screenshotted what Taylor Snyder had to say, and maybe I can just play the video right into my mic.
Wow.
Yes, but basically Taylor Snyder was talking to a podcast and was like, the reason that I brought Lindsay's name up and then it seemed like it kind of died away is that like she was like, Lindsay used to kind of, because they started messing around 2016 before everybody was really worried, like people knew about the internet coming. And then once the Tea Party happened and Lindsey Graham started to become a household name, he called her and threatened her. But up until then, she was like, there was no NDA because no one knew anything was going to come to fruition.
Oh,
so
wow.
here's what Taylor Snyder had to say.
Lindsey Graham is dead. Some of you may not, and some of you may not, but for a very long time, I was a peer sex worker. Kind of still am. But Senator Lindsey Graham was one of my clients. This transphobic, homophobic man who brought in hell. When I first met Lindsey Graham, I had no idea who he was. I just thought he was some horny old man. There is a bit of lore behind me knowing him for sure. Like I was definitely threatened with my life. So if you want more.
Okay, so that's about it. Did you hear any of that?
I heard that she thought he was just an old man.
Yeah, she said, I just thought that he was some kind of horny old man and that I found out. So basically, like Lindsey Graham, all these sex workers are just saying like, but also Taylor went on to say that basically Lindsey Graham, with the amount of money he gave her to start, bankrolled her whole life. Yes. And so
he's buying her silence.
Yeah. And she said in post, it's so weird that the person that gave me the money that allowed me to live my life is the same person that would be on television voting against the Daily. So it's just such a juxtaposition about, the closeted lives we lead. And speaking of, since we are on kind of a weird sexual tip, Tori, did you see this TikTok thing that is taking over the internet? I want to get your opinion. Okay, let's move on from her. Let's do this.
I figured I'd send you a voice note because it's like easier than like texting all this. But anyway, had a good time tonight. Definitely think you are lovely. However, I would love to, if we're gonna go to your place on Thursday, I mean, I am looking to have that physical intimacy to see if like I am sexually compatible with you. So like if I'm gonna come over, like I would be hoping to like hook up, have sex, have a good time, have like that romantic spark and that physical spark there for my own sake, because it's hard for me to continue dating someone and seeing them if I don't know if I'm sexually compatible. So I know you said I don't know about that. So like I guess my thing is like, what would be the point of me coming over then if we're not gonna like hook up and like cuddle and like be intimate with each other? And if that's what you don't want, that's fine. But like, I think we should just like end it here then, respectfully, just because first date, that's fine. Like you want to get to know each other, I'm all about that. But like, I am looking to have that physical aspect there, and I don't want to continue seeing someone if I don't know if that's good, if that's not there or not. So up to you. Let me know. I'm happy to, if you do want me to come over, I'm happy to do so. Would love to have a good time, and we can have some wine, hang out, and chill. But if
Tori, obviously, believe it or not, that has the internet split.
I was going to say, some people are going to think this is a good thing. I know it.
Well, what do you say to the people that say, "Hey, he's being direct and to the point," and women, human beings say they want transparency, and this was very transparent about why I would be coming over and what I would be expecting. So, what are your thoughts?
First of all, Brandon said this voicemail is longer than he would last.
It was long. Yeah, and there was quite a finish at the end, Brandon. I wasn't expecting that.
No, and then the wine and this whole spiel and stuff. Okay. There is something to be said about transparency and being honesty is key, and also being very direct. Like, when I was on a dating app, someone would say, "Hey, I'm really looking for a physical
Black people
connection."
meet. You can say it.
It's called Black People Meet. And they'd say, I really want to I'm very physical. And so if you're not into that, like, don't match with me, which saves you some time and a lot of like awkward conversation. So if I were his defense attorney in this social law case, I would say he was doing the nicest thing to her by letting her know his intentions, respectfully giving her the options, laying it out on the table, and it was her choice to make. She could make either choice. But if I were the prosecutor, I would have been like, this is insanity. And a little bit sexually, like, I don't want to say like SA, but like very aggressive in a way that would make anybody uncomfortable. This was after one date, y'all. This was one date. So people are saying, yuck, wowzers, maybe not, whatever. Honesty is the best policy, ? I'll be direct to the point, and that is a nope, people saying.
Right. And people will say, like, he gave her the opportunity to say nope.
He did.
And
he said respectfully.
Tori, when I heard this, my first thought was, this is the result of a society that's been
An app
dealing
culture.
with an app culture, homie. Because there used to be a thing where it's like, there's this girl, Tori, at work. She's got these blue frames. I don't know what it is. I'm just so scared. I'm gonna ask her out. And there would be the dance.
Yeah,
The
chase.
the chase, the little,
Yes.
like, she makes it known in the cafeteria she's not seeing anybody, and she likes football, and I like and then you get the nerve up. You ask your friends, what do you think I should? It was the dance.
There was a dance.
date.
There was a dance.
And I know that can be considered very prehistoric and old school, and I totally get it. But this is what happens when a culture has become so cynical with dating, so cynical with 3 expensive dinner dates and then ghosted, that they are just like, do you want to smash or what? I need an answer. I'm on the clock, bro.
Okay.
I'm set to silent, but I'll still get the message.
Click.
Yeah.
The timer is on. I do want to say this. It's not only that, it's lazy. Like, what happened to courting? What happened to wooing? What happened to like showing just a tiny bit of effort? Like, just meeting at a cafe, getting to know each other. This is like, let's skip to the just having sex, moving on and cuddling, and then I'm out. Like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Like, what happened to the culture of courting and courtship? I think that makes.
Let me push back
beautiful
I
thing,
can only
please.
push back for the men on this.
Okay.
My pushback will be that there are guys that are, I know them, guys that love the courting process. They love it. They love it. There are a lot, I can only speak for really men of color, that roll around listening to R&B, like on blast in their car. Like, I had homies like that, guys that were like into romance and like, hey, take care of the lady on a date. And I think some of those guys got burned because they went on dates with people that were trying to get a free meal. I think it's its own genre of Tinder. And that is the risk you run with a total blind date, not even a blind date. Like, my girl Tori hooked me up with this girl that she thinks I'll like, because at least there's a connection there. When we are just fishing in the dark, I think that sometimes you're going to catch a trout, prize winning flounder,
Bass.
A bass, if you're a bass fisherman that you
Remember?
can hold on the boat. Yeah,
Yep.
big mouth bass. Or you're going to catch a lot of fish that are just looking to eat and be thrown back over the boat. And I think after that happens a couple times, I'm not saying this guy seems like he's pretty cold and calculating. He's approaching dating like the guys that took over Nakatomi Tower and Die Hard. and
Hans.
Hans Gruber.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this is that guy, but I think there are guys that have been burned. Not that that's not the risk that they should know they were running by going onto a dating app. So
I agree, but
there's part of that in there.
I do too, but I want to bring up W. He said there are women out there that leave messages like that guy did. Totally fair. But I would assume it's more men than women. There is
I
a
would
sense
assume.
that
And if I
women-
was single, I'd be like, that's ridiculous. Where are you seeing these messages?
You have a number and a name for that guy?
That's
Woman?
disgusting. We need to have them on the show.
Bring them in. I just think I listened to Jillian on Love. If anyone wants to listen to a podcast that's like super real. Okay. I would suggest Jillian on Love. And she said the same thing. Like this one guy, Al, only would take his dates on walks. They would just walk.
Cheap.
Not only cheap, but like you're not even looking at each other. It's just like the lowest effort you could, like, go to a cafe, have a coffee, look eye to eye with each other, like do some kind of courting other than just like, yeah, let's take a walk. Like,
what do you think is the best first date for two total strangers?
I kind of think, and this has become new in the dating culture, dinner is a lot, because if you already know there is no spark, my insides aren't tingling, you know what I mean? Then I don't want to spend a dinner. What do you want? Lasagna? Oh God, you want dessert?
How long is that going to take?
Oh God, it's
every meal you just ask the waiter, how long is that going to take?
Like a lobster. Oh my God. Yeah. So I think the best date is either a coffee date or a lunch date. And you can walk after that if you're feeling it. You're like, yeah, I'm feeling it. But I think it's a cafe and a coffee or some drinks. Maybe that's fine. And I just think you want to keep it nice and short, get to know each other, have some eye contact, feel if the spark is there, and then maybe dinner the next time. Hanging out at a museum, Renee Brown says, something where you guys are making a little bit of effort to do, even axe throwing. I don't know if that was a good one, but like mini golf, things where you're like.
Mini golf takes a long time. And my only issue with the coffee date, and here comes Old Man River, and I'm a champion of courting. Yo, are you about to hire me as seasonal work at effing Nordstrom Rack? I don't want to have an interview at a coffee shop that is under the guise of a date. I don't feel attractive when I'm caffeinated up. I don't get hot and horny when I'm in a coffee shop.
You're not supposed to be hot and horny. You're learning about each other.
Tori, when you go to a sexy little bar, I'm not talking about they have double dildos hanging on the wall, but it's like red lighting.
Yeah, you can do that.
There's some adults in there. Everybody's chilling. There's that hush tone. People are dressed kind of after work or dressed kind of nicely.
Yeah.
Like I kind of would.
That's fine.
I wouldn't mind that. Coffee does not make me feel, oh, you're lactose intolerant. Now I'm thinking about you shitting in the unisex bathroom. I don't want it. It's not hot to me.
Okay, I agree with you, but some women feel safer doing a lunch or coffee date than getting tipsy with a man they don't know. So I understand your point of view, but a daytime date feels a little bit more comfortable for many women that I know. I also have to say, dating kind of is an interview. Like, you're like, where are you from? Like, what are your values? Like, are you a Republican? I'm out, like things like that. Like, I don't know. It's become more of an interview process, but I think that's how dating kind of is now. I don't know if you guys agree with that.
I would tend to agree with you. And Tori, speaking about dating, celebrities, even multi-millionaire celebrities, they date as well. And I don't think we talk about them a lot, especially when sometimes those people are already married. That's not always great for them. Did you see that our friend Bill Gates had to address some questions? Let's watch this here.
Got a sexually Bill Gates leaving after speaking with the House Oversight Committee about Jeffrey Epstein. Justice Department files reveal Epstein claimed that Gates got a sexually transmitted disease from, quote, Russian girls. That's from the email, and Gates asked Epstein for antibiotics to secretly give his then wife, Melinda, telling the committee that he did have affairs, but they had nothing to do with Epstein. And, quote, I never witnessed nor had any indication that Epstein was engaged in ongoing criminal conduct. I never went to his island, his ranch, or his Florida home. I have never victimized anyone. Senior national.
So I heard about this. I heard about this because it was
Yes.
in the Epstein files. This was like part of the thing. He asked for antibiotics. And I also know, Al, Melinda has spoken out about this, although she's kept it very short. They asked her about it. And she said, "Did you know about Epstein?" And she said, I once met the man and I told Bill, never meet him again. And he didn't. And now we're divorced. And so I think this was the impetus for the entire ending. Not only the affair, but that it was with someone so horrific, such a monster that people knew. I mean, people know. And she was not about to have
Absolutely.
that.
Well, Tori, the reason we're talking about this is because Alan Dershowitz, famous attorney, lawyer, who is every time we're talking about Epstein, he's always right around the corner like that. Hear my name? I'll sue you.
Yeah. He's in the Epstein files a lot.
He's all over them bitches. He's in there.
Yeah, he's in there a lot.
James Comer says it's unacceptable after Alan Dershowitz fails to appear before a panel probing Epstein and threatens to subpoena him. Dershowitz was scheduled to appear Monday before the House Oversight Committee. So, Tori, why do you think our man Alan was a no-show?
So he's a Harvard professor and was a really interesting,
where Epstein had an office.
Very good point. And he was well renowned, Alan Dershowitz, as a very had a quick legal mind. So I think he's betting on that he will not be held in contempt, even though Steve Bannon was for not showing up. But he's probably lawyering. How do you say this? Lawyering up. And remember, the Clintons didn't go in for a while too. So he's probably seeing the risk here of like, how hard are they going to push me? Are they going to subpoena me? Are they going to take me from my home? How hard are they going to go for me? Because he wants nothing to do with this. And he is all over that. I mean, he's in the plane, he's the island, there's the girls. I mean, it's not good. Even Epstein wrote about him. So yeah, if he goes in, I don't know if you can plead the fifth in a congressional hearing.
I don't think you can, right?
I don't know if you can. I don't think you can. I think pleading the Fifth Amendment is in a court of law. But this is a way of pleading the fifth, of just ignoring being called in and seeing how far will they go. Will they just not care anymore, or will they continue? And by the way, what are the enforcements from Congress? If you didn't know, Congress can send people to jail. They did with Bannon. They can have a fine. But I wonder if he's willing to risk that because he doesn't want to talk.
Yeah, I mean, pretty soon, and I think that's where we're getting a lot of the panic from the Republicans with the elections coming up. They're still a ways off, but they're coming up. Is if in any way the Dems can flip Texas and or Maine or both,
yeah,
you know, and they can get the House and the Senate, they can start to get these guys in front of some committees that do matter.
Yeah,
and that's going to be. You won't be able to play your little cutesy, well, I'm unaware of what the Epstein files were, but are they the Epstein files? You can't play those like word games anymore. And I think that's where we're kind of starting to see the fear. And you have to also imagine that everybody that is kind of involved in this, you also have to watch how hard you push back, because you could implicate yourself. Like,
yeah,
why are you so against us getting to the bottom of this?
Yeah, and then you can be indicted, or if you have an attorney general that's actually doing his job or her job. Pal Coley, thank you so much, says, yes, you can assert your Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination during a congressional hearing. However, Congress can compel your testimony by granting you immunity.
Oh, now.
And he knows where the bodies are buried. I mean,
quite literally.
Yeah, I mean,
let's be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, he's wrapped
ranch
up with Les Wexner and all these people.
Oh, like the co-conspirators.
He's all in these. He's all in these, and it's just this. It's a weird thing that we're going to watch with this Epstein files, because I do think when this starts to unravel, because the truth will have its day.
Yeah, I agree.
I wonder who's going to be the first domino to fall, because you have to assume that if you do if you're an Alan Dershowitz, or I don't think Bill Gates knows as much about the inner workings as like an Alan Dershowitz would, your safety is now in jeopardy, because I think that if they killed, allegedly Jeffrey Epstein killed himself in jail in front of our eyes, you think nothing can happen to you?
Yeah.
He was in federal custody.
Yeah. I do. There is.
And so I don't know. I think anybody that speaks has to know that even if it would be obvious, they'd have to know that there are some people that will be hunting for them.
Not only that, but if I were a Democrat, and this is going to take, I hope, not generations, but when the blue wave, I believe that's coming in the midterms due to the Iranian war that nobody wants. I mean, it's so unpopular. If you do run, like Todd Blanche is running, the Bar Association said he's not even qualified. But if you do run for Attorney General, you base your entire campaign, Al, on getting to the truth of the Epstein files. That is your only goal. I will find out the truth. I will indict those. I will not hide the 3 million files. I will not redact the co-conspirators. I will find them out. And you will have the Epstein victims behind you, and you make that your entire platform. And people will be interested in you then, because it's just being blown over. I mean,
but I totally agree with you, Tori. But then why aren't the Democrats doing that now? I mean, if you
power.
felt like if you had, but you got a microphone.
Thank you. It's $20. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. But like you have a microphone. Thank you, C-Dog. You got a microphone. That's all I'd be saying, especially if I had a race coming up. I'd be like, not only do I totally condemn this, I'm willing to do this, this, and this for transparency. Does my opponent Tori want to do that? Where's she at on this issue? We haven't heard from her. Why don't you talk about your boss, so-and-so that's linked to Jeffrey Epstein? Because I know you can't.
And also, I'll tell you why. And this is so sad. Because Americans, I'm going to say this, care more. The Epstein files was horrific to people. I'll never understand how that didn't take Trump down. But what riles people up, Al, was the gas prices. It wasn't child assault. It was not trafficking. It was not kidnapping. It was not torture or death, allegedly. It was when they had to pay more at the gas station. And politicians know that. It was the Iranian war. It was oil. And so if I'm running, I'm going to say I'm lowering gas prices. Now, if I'm a moral person, of course, I'm going to add the Epstein files. But it doesn't have the same pull as when it hits your wallet. Like, you know,
that is so sad and so true.
It is sick. But it wasn't the Epstein files that started MAGA breaking. It was when gas prices went up.
And Tori, to your point, to just solidify an amazing point, we saw it play out in real time because Thomas Massie did make that his whole platform.
Oh, yeah.
And he gone.
But he is now, he's totally gone. But if Mitch McConnell leaves,
there would be a special runoff or something, right?
But Massie also has gained a tremendous amount of respect from not only Democrats, but moderate non-MAGA. And MAGA is breaking. I'm sorry to say, they do not have the same pull. The 37% base is not there anymore. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson. I mean, these people are leaving, like Massie, these people, Thomas Tills, like these people are walking out publicly because they see, even Laura Ingraham. Did you hear what she said last night?
No.
She said, Trump, you need to end this Iranian war before the midterms, and the clock is ticking. Like Laura Ingraham is like, you're out. This is not working.
That's also how she ends her sexual sessions. She is a cold woman.
I'm concerned I have her haircut.
No, she is just like the embodiment of, she was like a daddy's girl, but her daddy was a slumlord that liked to break unions. Like she's got that kind of energy. Like she's a cold.
Oh, she's an
woman.
icy woman.
Terrifying.
But if she's saying this, she's like, it's so unpopular. You need to change course. Like that's getting into the most read pundit out there. And Trump watches TV, a lot of TV. So
do you think there's any way he can, really quickly, before we get to this last clip?
I think there's a definite way, but he doesn't like to lose.
What is that way?
I think you offer a treaty and you get rid of the Strait of Hormuz and you get all the people out there and you end up probably giving them money. You just like walk your ass out of there. People don't really care about this win or lose. They want us out. They want gas prices to go down. They do not want military to be in danger. They just want it over. So it's, in my opinion, it doesn't matter how you get out. You get out.
Tori, I would agree with you, but they had the memorandum of understanding, and then Fox News was like, "We really wimped out, man."
Yes, wow, but I don't think they do that now.
You don't think so?
No, I think it's gone so far down so fast. It's so vitally unpopular with Republicans as well. I think they need to change course if they have any hope in the midterms, and I don't think he's going to do it.
All right, Tori, really quickly, let me get your thoughts on this. All right, Tori, that's it.
assault. That is assault.
It absolutely
That
is.
is assault.
What did you think about just that whole clip, and had you seen it?
No, I hadn't seen it. It's his First Amendment right to not. Well, first of all, the First
Yes.
Amendment right is for the government, so he has no power over that. That's just that's assault. You could call the police, have that. That's assault and battery, right there.
Yeah.
And everyone has a choice to not stand or stand. It's a protest. Yes. Are we allowed protests? Yes. The First Amendment doesn't come in here because that means First Amendment is only the government can't tell you to do certain things. This is one gentleman, one monster after another gentleman. But that is, I mean, they have video. They could go after that guy immediately. We could find him on Instagram immediately. Where does he work? Immediately. Like, he just slapped someone. That's a Will Smith moment. And the guy stood.
I know. First of all, if he had smacked me, that'd have been the last. That'd have been the last. That would have been the title of his obit, The Last Smack by Grandpa. Yeah, I mean, it's just. I think when I watched it, I was like, it's so emblematic of people's rights, and everybody's so quick. Second Amendment, First Amendment. My rights.
It only protects you from the government.
But they don't ever recognize somebody else's right. And especially somebody else's right for them to do something that you don't like.
Yeah.
For them to say something you don't like. And as soon as they say something you don't like, get out of the country. That's not how this works.
Right. Exactly.
And it's just like, it's so, if he's allowed to be mad, he's allowed to be upset by that young man not standing up. He can do whatever. He go home, make a Facebook page. Yeah. This guy didn't stand up, but you cannot put your hands on him.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And physically coerce him to do something that was against his will.
I hope that this guy has tells the police. I hope they have the video. You have his face. Someone's going to find him immediately and post it. But I hope this video, is it gone viral, Al?
Yes. I mean, we're talking about it. Yeah.
Oh my God. That is
my only pushback, Tori, is like, if you have to file a police report, it'll be very emasculating. It'll be like, all right, what's your age? 26. Okay. And what happened? I was assaulted by a 202-year-old man. He smacked me into standing position.
Oh,
I just don't like, man. I'm just, all jokes aside, I thought that in that moment, he symbolized America's fundamental misunderstanding of what this country really is.
Yeah.
And patriotism is sometimes standing up as a war veteran like John Kerry and throwing your medals over the fence and saying, I don't agree with this war. Muhammad Ali lost his fucking career for that. The people that stand up, the John Carlos and Tommy Smith, the black guys that had the black fist at the Olympics, they lost their careers for that.
Oh, lost. I mean, everything. But again,
Colin Kaepernick never played another down in the NFL for his right, exercising his rights. And people just think it's, if we're all on board with it and Budweiser is sponsoring a flyover, then it's cool. Patriotism takes many different forms. I'll let you have the last word.
Okay. First of all, beautifully said. But I just want to say on DBL, even this guy Cold or something that's writing me about bad things about Jews, I'm not going to respond to that. I'm Jewish. I could care less what you say. But I always said, I'm a very big freedom of speech person. You know that. I strongly believe in a wide open, a lot of range there for freedom of speech. And I always stand up for people's speech that I hate because they have the right to do so. Now, if you're burning crosses and you're causing clear and present danger, or I get it. But if the KKK or the Nazis that walked through Skokie, Illinois, that's the freedom of speech doesn't just protect speech you like. It protects all speech from the government shutting you down. So Amen, if the guy had yelled and said, how dare you? How dare you? Yeah, you could get like a security guard or someone to say, I'm uncomfortable. Can I switch seats? But slapping, the moment he put his hands on him, we're in a full different area. And I hope he goes and makes a police report. And I hope it goes viral. And I hope we know who this guy is by the end of tomorrow. And I hope we know if he's on a dating app. And that's how the internet can get good. So I'm just saying, you can protest and you can protest back, but you cannot do that. You cannot do that.
Well said. And I was talking with Sarah and her mom about this randomly because we were talking about dating apps. Before we go, Tori, what do you think? And I can look this up really quick. What do you remember as the first dating app?
eHarmony or Match.com.
That's what I thought. eHarmony. Let me see what it is. I guess eHarmony.
There was JDate too for us Jews to meet other Jews because we are trying to procreate because there were so many Jews killed.
Yeah. Hey, you got to replenish the herd.
That's
Tori,
what literally is happening.
is JDate still big, or is there something else now?
I haven't heard. I've heard of Christian Mingle.
I thought that was one of the first ones too.
I do too. And there's also like Date My Age or Silver Linings for like golden years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. We are wrong. Let me see really quickly in the comments. Are any of the colleagues saying the first dating app that they remember without looking?
Okay, don't look, you guys. What's the first dating app you remember?
I will just say this: Grindr was 2009. Grindr's still going strong.
No,
Tinder,
that was after.
Yeah, Tinder 2012.
Yeah.
Match.com 1995. So you're
what
close.
About eHarmony?
eHarmony isn't here yet, but it wasn't the first. Bumble.
MySpace? Was it MySpace? Lars?
No, because I don't think that was Kiss.com. Kiss.com.
I don't know.
How did the band Kiss
not have that? I totally agree.
Yeah. Also, Marcy said Yahoo had a dating app. First of all, so did AOL, if y'all want to take it there.
Okay. Facebook has a dating thing, and I know like 4 people that have found their people on Facebook. It's like Facebook Marketplace, but the market is a little lady.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you know, there's interesting
Plenty
because
of Fish is a good one. Yeah.
Plenty of Fish is good too.
Okay, Cupid.
Hannibal showed me one time, like on Facebook Marketplace, he was like, there's a bunch of illegal stuff on here. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then he showed me like things, and it'd be like a girl like you wearing a white t-shirt, and it would be like $500. And I'd be like, oh, I think you get the girl with the t-shirt. Okay. It's not for the t-shirt. Yes. And first of all, Jack says AOL chat rooms. First of all, ASL, that is how you can tell how old somebody is, because I got catfished a couple times. I got catfished one time before people could fact check things. There was this famous basketball player. She's been retired for like 100 years. That tells you how old I am. Her name was Sue Bird, and she was
I know Sue Bird.
Yes, and I was talking to this person who told me she was Sue Bird and sending me pictures of her, but it was just a generic Getty image of her like high five. I was like, I'm talking to a lady.
I am in. I remember being 12 or 13 years old, Sue Bird. And I went into a chat room, and it was like, take your bra off. And I was like, what's this mean? Like, what is this? Like, that was some of my first like introduction to like sex talk.
Yeah.
There was no boundaries on AOL chat rooms.
They just got right into it.
It was
and
Wild West.
If you think about like where we are with the Epstein files, and everybody's like, I can't believe it, and all this stuff, and so many predators. That show, To Catch a Predator, they were getting so many predators that sometimes 2 or 3 would show up at the same time, and they'd have to like be like, you got to wait in the dirtbag waiting room while we arrest this other guy. And so many it's crazy.
The host got in trouble for being a predator himself.
Yeah, it's just there was just a lot of catfishing. I could tell a couple catfishing stories too. I got catfished one time just because I didn't the Sue Bird, and the only reason I thought of it was when I was in Seattle, we were driving around, and she played ball, I think, up there, and there was like a Sue Bird way, and I was like, oh yeah, I got catfished by her. And like, so I don't know why this person used Sue Bird. I was their target, like a hoops fan. That's like, Sue Bird is hitting me up in Cleveland, Ohio, my dad's house. And so Sue Bird. There was one woman that like she definitely we'll leave that for that's a story for another time. All right, Tori, we are gonna go. We are way over time, but I just love talking to you. Remember, colleagues, do us a favor. Please tell any colleague that you know is not on here. Ashley Madison, by the way, Michael, there's a great documentary about Ashley Madison.
Yes, there is.
That you should watch, and it was just like shocking because after they got outed, they were like, "Well, our company's over," and people started signing up again, and they were
Oh yeah, it's for
All
people
right.
who are married trying to find affairs. That's what if you don't know it.
It's a real thing.
Woo!
So yes, we have a very special guest tomorrow, 5 p.m.
And it's
Mountain
7
time.
p.m. Eastern, and that would be 4 p.m. Pacific.
Do you think the colleagues couldn't have figured that out?
I mean, it's
we're
hard
almost
for me.
200 episodes in.
It's
Tori.
hard. It's hard.
First of all, you're talking to me in numbers. I would have had no clue. That's why I just keep saying 5 p.m. because that's the only one I know.
Yeah,
It's
you
like my
can't
mom,
do
just
that.
keep saying 5, honey. You're fine.
You're
5
good.
p.m. We have a very special guest. So until then, colleagues, remember to tell a friend to become a colleague. And with that said, guys, I had a great day with you. Tori, I love you. You were awesome as always. See you
Thanks.
tomorrow. 5
I'm Sue
p.m.
Bird.
I hate you.